Welcome to 3 Acre Homestead. Glad you're here today. I'm late on videoing and editing. Just been a little bit busy around here. Some of it I'll show you what we're doing. Cutting up trees, how much I got done yesterday. And so we're gonna go outside and play in the yard. A little bit more of a relaxed day than yesterday. So remember, if you're not new here, we made those crock pot dinners. So yesterday I forgot to pull something out of the freezer, and when I was done working outside in the trees, I was so hungry but didn't want to cook. What I ended up doing is getting a nice prime rib that we had in the freezer and thaw that out in some hot water, and then had some baked potatoes and spinach. It was delicious. It hit the spot. We've been eating a lot of summer sandwiches, and I just needed something a little more hearty than a sandwich. A lot of egg salad. I love roast beef sandwiches. So anyway, today I pulled out, last night actually, thinking ahead that we're gonna be outside a lot again today. I pulled out the cilantro lime chicken recipe that we made a while ago. Got the crock pot out, and dinner is gonna be ready in the time that, other than the pre-work we did, but the dinner's gonna be ready in the time it has, other than cooking. Anyway, dinner is now getting ready and going in the crock pot on low for 4 to 6 hours. I'm gonna do 5 hours, turn it to low. Dinner's getting ready all by itself. So then when we come in, I'll make some rice up or some noodles or something to put with it. It's already got vegetables in there. I had some leftover spinach, so I'll probably throw that with it on my side of the plate anyway. And now we're gonna go outside. I'll show you what we did and what we're gonna do this afternoon. Again, a more casual pace. So we'll see you outside. Okay, we're outside. I've gathered some things together to do some planting. And I want to take you... Thank you, sir. Take you on a little walk because it is so beautiful. 71 degrees. This is the south side of our home. It's not what I wanted to show you. It's bright out here and beautiful. But over here we have some lilacs that came from that big lilac. Richard tried to cut it down. It hasn't started blooming yet. I don't know if it will, but these got little tiny blooms on them. And I'm so proud of those. And yes, ignore the grass. It gets overwhelming. Bleeding heart that keeps coming up. Oh, these are my favorite plants on earth. They're poppies. They're bright orange when they bloom. They're not blooming yet. I just love them. And the alliums and peonies. It's all so beautiful. So that's the front of my flower bed. Our maple tree back there. Some hostas. I turned it into a rock garden because the wild carrots took over and it was awful. So when I talk about pruning up trees or cutting them up, we did this little area about 3-4 weeks ago, and then yesterday I spent about 4 hours cutting the dog run. Left her a little bit of stuff over here for shade. And I cut up 9 trees as far as I could reach. Now there are piles everywhere. You can see that big pile back there. But it looks so beautiful, and I'm gonna take you back around and show you over there. Oh, before we go all the way around, I gotta show you this. I don't know what it is. I don't remember planting it. It stayed green throughout the winter with the snow. Freezing temperatures. If you know what that is, let me know. And it just did this flower yesterday. Isn't it beautiful? So I have no idea what it is, but I'm surprised and amazed by it. Okay, back around. Okay, we're back to the backyard where it's shady and much cooler. This is my fern garden. They're native ferns. Got some clematis on the fence. There was a third one right there in the middle, but it died, I guess, because it's not there. I don't know what these are. They smell, the pollen on them is beautiful, and they're native to Michigan, and they just kind of grow like this, and I don't mind. And Back there you can see where I cut. I hope you can see the onion bed and carrots. I don't see any carrots yet, a little early I guess. And this vegetable garden is corner to corner planted. That took about 2 weeks, you know, in between working and life. So this is our summer oasis. Here's another burn pile. We're trying to make firewood out of the better pieces, and I want to use this aspen tree. It broke. The deer run their horns on them and gave it a weak spot, but I'm going to cut those lateral branches off and make some pretty wood to sit by our wood stove. And this is what I mean by wild roses. They are vicious. They will scratch you up. So we did a burn last night just for fun, and we got to do it. So okay, let's go get this dirt ready. Okay, so now I made this dirt, and after filling up the raised bed out there, dirt's not cheap. That was kind of costly. I could have bought 500 pounds of onions to what it costs probably to build that raised bed, but it's rewarding to grow your own food, and I enjoy it. So I emptied out spent dirt out of all these containers, garden containers. These are the Dollar Tree stackables. They did really good for me last year when I got them. But I took all that spent soil, dumped it in this wagon bucket here. I put some peat moss in there, and it's got a lot of organic matter. I went out to the chicken run, and kind of by the door we put hay when it's really wet and muddy, snowy, and with their additions and the hay, all that is excellent compost. So I added that here. I did get overzealous with the water though. It's pretty soupy, but it's gonna work. And we're also gonna plant, these are romaine lettuce. So we're experimenting and seeing if we can get these to grow. It wasn't organic. I've got an onion we're gonna put in the ground. Little bitty onion. So it's growing roots already. It looks good. I'm trying, this is a little piece of basil I trimmed off a plant. Seeing if it will root. I don't think it will because it's too small of a stem, but I'll probably end up on it. So all I'm gonna do is, oh, and this strawberry, grew this from seed last year. So I need to take this out, and I wanna refresh the dirt around it and fill the container up. So that's what I am going to do. It needs to be unroot bound anyway. So I just have a little surgery bowl, or actually I have a shovel too here. And I'm gonna fill these up. I let this sit about an hour so it can really get hydrated in here. Down just a little bit. Make room for this little strawberry. This wintered over the winter outside. To get really good berries, they need to freeze. So just teasing those roots, plop this down in here. That will give that some really good a worm in here. Excellent. Now, kind of undecided what I want to grow with this strawberry. Nice and full. I'm just going to set it on the ground, and then we're going to get these buckets filled up. And darn chicken, it's in the dog run, which is fair game for the dogs. Oops. Get these filled up, and then we'll figure out what we're going to put in them. All the pots, I went ahead and put the lettuce seeds 1/4 inch deep in those long bins. I don't know if you saw them. And those lettuce starts are in there. And then I have labeled and placed seed packets on top of everything for these dollar store stackables. So I'd like to do some cilantro. Plant a couple seeds there. I'll do about 3. And just because 4 fell out, we're doing 4 now. And there, this is going to be some parsley. Plan to freeze dry. I've got a lot of this seeded in the garden, but I just want to do some more. This is a little bitty seed, so I'm going to just sprinkle this soil over the top. And then these are all going to go in the fern garden where the chickens can't get them. That's what that, when I showed you the fern garden, I'm sure you noticed that not very attractive green fencing. That is chicken. Keep the chickens out of my stuff. And then it's right here by the garden hose, so it's easy to water. Excuse me. These are tiny little black seeds too, so we're just gonna sprinkle those, pat it down, and then I've got some sweet marjoram, Michigan Gardener. These are tiny little seeds. I think I told you in a different video, I'm focusing on herbs, green beans this year, because I'd like to start over my herb and spice cabinet. Plant all these, there's just a tiny bit in there. It's hard to tell what's dirt on my hands and what's seed with these little bitty black ones. And again, I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of dirt on top. Those started running. So those are all planted. And this third one, I decided some flowers would be pretty. So I'm gonna do some lavender. Not that many. Bachelor's buttons. I'm hoping to freeze dry these and see if I can make a little bouquet in the house. And some cosmos. Cosmos did fabulous in here last year. It was tall and skinny. I love that. Cosmos is probably one of my favorite flowers, other than those poppies I was showing you and the peonies. All of that. So let me read on the bachelor's buttons. Do they need 1/4 inch deep? Okay. I can't wait for these to start coming up. Seeds to me are a promise of things to come. Exciting flowers and herbs and vegetables. Gardening in general is that way, because it looks pretty bleak right now out there, and I say it every year. I worry nothing's going to come up, nothing's going to come up, and every year I have an abundance of at least a few things. Some seeds I'm a little anxious that haven't come up yet that I planted a couple weeks ago, but I know we've had some cool nights, so I'm hoping it's just a delay in the temperatures. Okay, I'm going to set these over in the fern garden, and then we're going to go try to propagate some Forsythia, and I'll tell you why when we go to do that. Okay, out here we have this Forsythia bush. There's 2 of them, one over there, one over here. And they've been here for about 10 years. I have not pruned them. Maybe I did it a long time ago, but not really. And they're not in a very good place. I think they're in too much shade. So Richard and I were talking, and he wants to cut them down, and it's one less thing we have to mow around. So I told him, before you do that, I want to get some cuttings. I think about 5 cuttings, see if I can get them to root, and then I will plant them in the front yard and mow around those there. Probably doesn't make sense to you guys, but we're going to give it a go. And we could also try to make a privacy hedge from the road with these things, hopefully. But I don't want to just kill it and not have some cuttings from it. So, put my glasses down, and I'm going to just take some, cut it at an angle. See what we can do. I've got some rooting hormone. I want at least 5. I may do some more. So I wonder if I gave this a good hard cut, what it would happen to it. And if it would look nicer. It did have beautiful yellow blooms. Beautiful. It's just not very bushy though. So I don't know, I'm undecided really. It's hard for me to kill plants. So, I don't know how many I have here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do another one. I don't know if y'all can hear the bullfrog out there. I call it a banjo frog because it sounds like a little banjo strum. Okay, we're up by the porch again, and I have some rooting hormone I'm going to use. When I turned the camera off out there, I went ahead and gave those things a pretty hard pruning, because maybe if I can make them look better, Richard won't threaten them. So I'm just going to dip these. I'm going to put about 4 in each of these. And I've never done this before, so if I'm doing something wrong, let me know. And then I'll tease the roots apart when I see that we have roots. So I'm just dipping them each in the rooting powder, and then that has to come off. And we'll see how this goes. I'll put these behind the ferns too, just so they get the same amount of water that everything else gets. For now anyway, I may change my mind. And then we've got one more project after this. I wonder how our lunch is doing in there. I'll be hungry for it. We have some, a little pond. Now you've seen it before in the videos if you're not new. I think I may go stick a few of these cuttings out there and see if they root. I think I tried that one year and they really didn't. I don't know if it would be too wet for them for the long run. But it's certainly not going to hurt nothing. But that's not the one more project. I just made that up. Oh, I've got a whole nother. Let me grab a few more. I just threw all these over here. This rooting hormone for a long time. I wonder if it expires. I couldn't find an expiration date on it. So, there we go. Okay, we're out by the oak tree, and our third and final project for today is going to be harvesting this tons of little volunteer oak trees that have gotten all over the ground. Let me show you. So that, and they're just everywhere. So I want to put these in a pot and see if we can't grow some oak trees for sale or to give away or whatever. Richard's wanting to retire. I'm like, okay, well, let's grow things and sell it for some chump change. So I'm gonna do this. He wants to leave some. Oh, that's a pretty little flower. Where'd it go? There it is. It's a tiny little thing. Anyway, he wants to leave some in the ground and see how they do. I think that's not gonna work because the taproot's gonna get too deep. Sorry, I didn't have you turned around right, and I didn't notice because I was paying attention to what I'm doing. So I'm gonna get these little oaks out of here. I've got 10 pots I started, but all I did, because this has got all kinds of business in the ground, so I'm using this pick thing and just taking a hunk of the dirt and see if I can't just put these, oops, let's leave that alone till I can get it. Oops, sorry, got rude with the shovel. Look at that. Oh, wrong thing. You see those little roots? So that's what I'm aiming for. These will be volunteers. Just put that back. Eat all this dirt. Try to get some of this grass out. I don't want to be pulling grass out of my seedlings. I don't know how many I have here. A nice little clump. Got a lot of moss in our ground too. I love it. It's just I love the things that we weren't able to have in Texas, or at least by where I live. It's so beautiful. Yeah, these little things, I'm just pulling them up almost like a weed and getting all that root. I'm gonna start trying to do that a little bit more than hunking up the ground. That root didn't make it. So let's see. No. Beautiful. Uh-oh, here comes a rooster. They're seeing what I'm doing. I don't commonly sit out here in the yard like this. So, okay, let me pick a few more and then we will go up again to the table and put these in some pots, and hopefully in some time to come, I will have neat videos of all this stuff we're trying to propagate. Okay guys, we're up by the table again, and we've got these beautiful little seedlings. I'm gonna see. And I confiscated this screwdriver out of my husband's toolbox, and I use it to poke seeds in the ground, or like make a put planters. See how many we can get in here. Okay guys, we have finished planting all the little the little oak trees. I don't know how many I got. I put about 4 in these 10, so maybe 40 or so. And I want to thank you. I'm sorry if this video was a little choppy with just lots of different little things going on, and that's how it ended up. So I want to thank you for being here. Please like and subscribe. If you see anything that I'm doing that could use some constructive criticism, like the propagating of the Forsythias, the oak trees, anything, let me know. I'd love to learn, and that's one of the things I love watching other YouTubers is I learn from them tips and tricks, and I get influenced for projects, and I hope to do that for other people as well. So I wanted to say thank you for being here, watching all the way through. If you did, if you came back, thank you for that. I really do love it, and we will see you next time. Bye.